President Cyril Ramaphosa says gender-based violence contributes to social issues such as cycles of poverty and inequality. He was giving a keynote address at the 17th Biennial Conference at the International Association of Women Judges in Cape Town this morning. Well, the conference aims to bring together approximately 900 judges, magistrates, legal professionals and policymakers from around the world to address the global scourge of gender-based violence and femicide through judicial leadership and activism. He further said men are the perpetrators, who are the violators of women's rights. Ramaphosa added that women must speak out and have more control over their lives.
We understood that gender-based violence affects women and girls, and the impacts of GBV are quite profound, including physical injury that is inflicted on women, long-term mental health, even death at times, or mostly. It is patently clear that gender-based violence also contributes to other wider social issues, such as perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequality. We know that gender-based violence doesn't in itself happen in a vacuum. It is the result of complex societal, cultural, and structural factors, some of which are the unequal power dynamics between men and women, cultural norms and practices, unemployment even, and conflict and wars. But we also find, more importantly, patriarchy, this right that men have, that they can dominate women. Furthermore, there is economic violence that is committed against women, where they are prevented from accessing financial services or resources and achieving their own independence, thereby condemning them to poverty and total inequality.
Well, the conference held at the International Association of Women Judges, and the conference held under the theme Resilience, Women in Leadership to End Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, is bringing together hundreds of judges, magistrates and legal professionals. Held under the theme Resilience, Women and... Held under the theme Association of Women Judges in Cape Town. Well, we cross now to Canny, who is at the conference, to find out a little bit more there. Canny, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit more about the significance of this gathering.
Indeed, Juliet, as you can hear behind me, it's quite a hive of activity as over 900 legal professionals have descended on the Cape Town International Convention Centre to deliberate on this question of ending gender-based violence and femicide. Of course, these are a group of women judges that have joined together from various different nations. I think every nation in the globe is represented at this all-important conference, which seeks to strengthen those tools that can be used to fight gender-based violence, specifically in the criminal justice system and the courts. Now, we know that in South Africa, this is an issue that is quite close to our hearts, as the country is facing significant challenges, not only in the scourge of gender-based violence, but in ensuring that alleged perpetrators are brought to book and that justice is seen to be done so that women and girls can have confidence in the criminal justice system in South Africa. But of course, it's not only about our country, but it's about learning from other countries as to how they cope with these systemic issues, that are universal across the globe. To join us now to elaborate further on this is the Justice of the Appeal Court of Tanzania, that is Justice Sahel. That is their highest court in Tanzania, and these are one of the many different nations that are represented at this all-important conference. Now, we can start at how prominent gender-based violence is, or gender-based violence and femicide is in the country of Tanzania.
Thank you very much, SABC. First of all, let me extend our warmest heartfelt congratulations to the Republic of South Africa and especially the judiciary of South Africa for organizing this wonderful August conference of the 17th International Association of Women Judges. Tanzania, we are affiliate members of the International of Women Judges, and we have come here about 43 members from the Tanzania Women Judges. For us, on the issues of gender-based violence, it is still on the high rise in the Tanzania. And the luckiest thing, as the President Ramaphosa have said, our country have a very what can you say, laws that are permissible, and you can get easily a conviction on the issues of gender-based violence.
So you're saying that there's a high conviction rate in Tanzania in solving these crimes. South Africa struggles with securing that conviction rate. In Gauteng alone, there was a recent study by the Teddy Bear Foundation which found that in child sex abuse cases, that in Gauteng, those that were referred to the Teddy Bear Clinic, there was only a 4% conviction rate, which is quite low for the prosecuting authority. What can South Africa learn from Tanzania in achieving a higher conviction rate in order to deter society from committing acts of gender-based violence?
For instance, for us in Tanzania, a child witness can found a conviction only from a single witness evidence, and it's from a child witness. So long as that child first promised the court to tell the truth before giving her evidence, and then if she's credible evidence, or if he's credible evidence, then a conviction can be found on that single evidence.
Meaning that among officials in the criminal justice system in Tanzania, there's a willingness to believe victims of gender-based violence and to solve those crimes purely on the evidence brought by the witnesses in that particular matter.
Definitely, because their evidence does not need any collaborations. So long as the judge hears the evidence of the child and found that that child is telling the truth, then a conviction can be easily found. Yes.
Thank you very much. That was Justice Cyril of the Appeal Court of Tanzania. That is the highest court in their land, emphasizing the willingness to believe survivors as their sole tool in achieving that high conviction rate. We know that in South Africa, there is a number of hurdles for a victim to face before they can prove acts of gender-based violence. We know that the burden of proof does rest on the victim and not the perpetrator, and often we see that along the lines of the trials, or taking about 2 to 5 years to complete, that victims no longer express confidence in the criminal justice system, and those cases slowly fall away, contributing to that very low conviction rates in gender-based violence and femicide. But of course, these are some of the deliberations, Juliet, that will be taking place over the next few days as all these women judges and top legal professionals gather here and share their thoughts and opinions as to how the globe as a whole can address the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide. Over to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Canny, for that update, and we'll certainly be crossing to you again within the next few days to find out more.